because it's usually the sleepy time for us. After lunch, no session takes off. Everybody feels kind of drowsy. So there was an introduction about, the kindergarten and teachers and K to 12. So what am I doing here with the ECSI? What am I doing here? What is my role over here? Like, as much as you are interested in education, and I am also here in education, maybe in a different sphere. From morning, it's been a delight to listen to so many speakers, starting from Dilip to Dr. Chandrasekhar to Mrs. I didn't get her name, Sandhya, Mrs. Sandhya, and then the Vice Chancellor speaking. It's been very interesting to get to know about, the perspective of individuals about the education per se. We are looking at, what are we doing with the system, education system, which is playing a vital role in everybody's life. That's the reason I said, let me not have any kind of a slides, because you had seen enough of slides. Enough of slides from morning, enough of presentations. I'm just here to share my views and then maybe understand your views per se. We talk about education only in terms of higher education, where we talk about employability, where we talk about skills development. But the major part, that the higher education is only 3 or 4 years. Agreed? Yeah, 4 years maximum. Maybe if you talk about engineering, it's 4 years, it's medical 5 years, maybe specialization after that happens for another 2 years. 14 years has been spent in the school, 14, 15 years. What are we doing with the school sector? Who's worried about the school sector? What is happening over there? Is any institution or any organization bothered about what's actually happening within the schools? We have schools, we talked about engineering colleges, 2,000 engineering colleges. We have lakhs and lakhs of schools across states, private schools, government schools. What is happening in those schools? What are we trying to do there? Because according to research, it says that, 50% of a man's ability is developed before 7 years of age. So enough of damage or enough of good has been done before 7 years of age. So whatever you are today or whatever I am today, 50% has been done before that. What are we talking about in higher education? So where we need to focus on? We need to focus on the school education, which most of the educationists, any forum that last time I attended the ICT Academy in Tamil Nadu, that was the higher education again, and this year I'm invited here. I'm very happy to be here. The reason for me to participate in these sessions is only to give a loud cry to everybody, to make people understand what are we doing with the school sector. There is a minuscule population where we talk about, technological intervention which happens, where the schools use iPads, where e-learning happens in the schools, but that's only a minuscule. We talk about Indians being placed very well in India, doing very well, or doing very well outside India, but that's again how much percentage, what percentage of Indians? It's again very small. What is happening inside the school? When we talk about the e-learning, when we talk about robotics, when we talk about all the other factors, there was a gentleman here, the sir was actually telling, I don't even know what is inside my mobile phone. Beautifully explained. When we talk about technological advancements at the college level, think about the school level. All of us are happy to go back to our school days, aren't we? Yes? How many of you are proud that, I visited my school? How many of you have visited your school recently? The school where you studied? Have you visited? Yes? How does the school look? It's good now? Any changes?
There's only good changes. It's a government school.
Government school, okay.
But still there are good changes.
There are good changes, okay. Do you see the teachers still there? Happy to see the teachers still there?
Only a couple of teachers are there.
A couple of teachers? Yeah. Most of us, we have a nostalgic thing connected to the school. When we talk about the school, we would like to go back, this is the bench which I sat, and this is the school where I studied, and then the playground, everything looks the same. All of us look at it the same way. The sad part is, the happy part is we are able to, relive the childhood days, but the sad part is again, it's still the same condition. Nothing has improved. Including the textbooks that were used, including the methodology that has been delivered, nothing has changed so far. So what is the point in talking about higher education when nothing has changed at the school level? There's nothing, there's no movement at all. So you said something? Did you share something? I thought he was telling about the school days. Okay. So when nothing has changed, so what are we to impart at the school level? So we have come out with the concept of, the essential ingredient of Indian food. Can somebody say what is it? What is it that makes Indian food different from rest of it? Spice. It's a spice. Yes. So that's what we have come out with at Auuro. What we call it as the social, physical, intellectual, creative and emotional skills. So we work on this equipping children with these 5 essential skills, spice. Addressing this at the school level, equipping children, equipping teachers to understand the importance of this. Because as Dilip Shana said in the morning, the jobs which are existed today never existed 10 years back. The jobs which are going to be existing tomorrow, none of us are aware of it. So what are we to prepare children for? We need to prepare them for a life. We need to prepare them for adaptability. See, the kind of mobile phones that we are using at the moment, how many of us use smartphones now? Over here. When did we learn to use the smartphones? Recently? How many of you have seen computers only after started working? Exactly. Maybe after working for many years, you've started using computers. See, in those days, maybe 20, 30 years back, there was a kind of adaptability to learning. The kind of teachers whom we had helped us to develop holistically. But currently what is happening is, unfortunately, the teaching fraternity doesn't attract the cream. Teaching has been the last resort for the homemakers. It has been the last resort for the tuition teachers who would like to take up tuitions, And it has been the last resort. I don't get any other job, so I become a teacher. So those unmotivated teachers delivering lessons in our classroom for years together, we create unsuccessful people. That is what is happening. I travel even including villages, quite a lot of villages. What I see a lot of government children, government school children dropped out. Used to stop and ask, why is that you are not getting into the school? What is the reason for not getting into? No, the classes aren't challenging. The teachers doesn't make it more challenging and more interesting. He keeps repeating the same thing. I would like to explore. I would like to innovate. When I'm doing something, he doesn't give me marks on that. I was happy to, I'm not sure how many of you have heard about Bunker's School, the Barefoot College. You heard about it? You need to visit the YouTube. The Barefoot College actually, hosts people. It's a barefoot college. Yeah? It's in Bihar. And there, what happens is, the Barefoot College educates children not for their degree, not to get a degree, but equip them, because it's a completely solar lit village. It's a highly technological advanced village where people haven't gone to colleges or schools. Which impressed me, because that I was able to connect it when I visited villages, because I see a lot of youngsters roaming around and asking them, why is it this, you're not inside the classroom? I don't need a degree. I think I know much better than the teacher who is sitting inside and teaching. That's what the boy says. 16-year-old, 14-year-old, that's what they say. I seem to know much better than what he is teaching. I don't want to sit there because classes aren't challenging. So where we need to focus on working with children with the skill development. When we talk about the skill development or for the employability, we need to start looking at it from class 8. We need to work on the reverse gear. Doesn't mean need to stuff them with, more subjects, but create opportunities. We are working in a space both in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. What I find is, we are running a rat race. All of us, we are pushing our children only to get marks, and after marks what? Nothing. And we have another new breed of schools. This is one breed of schools where the CBSE school or SSE schools where we push children. There is another breed of school where we have the international curriculum coming in. These international curriculum, call it, being a Cambridge board or the IB board, children who graduate from these schools get into the higher education, again in India, and finding higher education being dumb, because the kind of advancement that is being made in the school education for the children who are graduating, coming out of the international school, is not being upgraded in the higher education. They tend to learn the same thing again. So what we need again here is a revolution in the education system at the K to 12 sector. to talk about it. More than the engineering colleges, it's important for us to work, or more than the professional colleges or any colleges. At the K to 12 sector, I think from the grassroots level, once we start working with the child. Today I was very happy when Mr. Chandrasekhar took me to the farm which he was talking about, mentioning in the morning, to show the children. I was very happy to see children happily running around, touching the sand, playing with the mud, and then touching the water and playing, trying to touch the animals, feel the animals. The kind of questions that they were asking, teachers who were with them were not able to answer, because most of the teachers didn't even know what kind of a plant and how does it grow. A lot of questions. I think these were 4-year-olds. Quite a lot of children over there. See, the kind of empowerment that these children have, through the exposure to the technology, I think that is what is missing in the schools. So there should be some connect. It is just not the colleges and the industry connect, but I also feel that has to be a connect between the schools and the colleges. There has to be a lot of connections, lot more connection to be made between schools and colleges. Once we start addressing that, I think India's problem would be addressed too, and we'll have a better nation, we'll have a better workforce, we'll have people with better social and emotional intelligence who can definitely take care of the country and take the country to the next level.